ready for school, Dad.
All right, buddy, it's your last day of school.
Woohoo!
I can't believe it. That's incredible. You did it, buddy. We're almost here. Okay, just one more day of school and you're done, buddy. Well, okay, so you got to go to graduation on Monday, and so that's really exciting, and then you have a party on Tuesday, but basically this is the last day of school. Pretty awesome! I dropped off Dex at school, and everything was fine. I was really trying to hype up things, like really be like, oh, it's your last day, be sure to say bye to everybody and blah blah. He's going to graduation, and he's going to the party, so at least there's that time. But I just feel like they're so little that they don't really get a chance to really understand that he probably is not going to see any of these kids anymore. And yeah, sure, he might have not the best relationship with some of them, but other ones he seems to get along with really well, and so it's just so tough. I feel like there's been a few little buddies that he's had in his life where they got to hang out for a short period or whatever, but then we moved, and then he'll ask about them. He'll be like, oh, hey, can I go play with so-and-so? And I'm like, they live in another state, buddy, it's just not an option. And it's hard because you see your kid be bummed out or whatever, and it's I don't I want to fix it, but obviously that's just not, you can't be fixing everything. The more and more Cynthia talk about it, the more and more we kind of debate and go back. We're really torn, but at the same time it's really starting to lean towards the fact that we're probably going to be moving schools. I got Dexter. We picked him up from school. Well, I did. I guess it's just me today. But do you want to tell everybody the good news?
I have no school. I don't have school tomorrow.
No school tomorrow. What? And you have no homework. They don't give homework on Fridays anyway. And actually, he hasn't had homework all week. Really, she's been sending home a paper to be like, hey, you don't have homework. And I'm like, well, why is there a paper? I don't know, whatever. But honestly, I'm glad you went to school today. Did you have fun with your buddies and everything? And you got to hang out with the homies? That's good, buddy. Well, as you know, we don't have any mama today, so we get to do whatever we want. Woo! Guys' day, party. All right, buddy, what should we do? We've already gone to the pool 3 days in a row, which was awesome, and that was cool, but I feel like my skin is starting to get very bleached, chlorine or whatever, when you go to the pool too many days in a row.
Go to the gym!
The gym. We're gonna go to the gym. Why do we need to go to the gym?
Because we need to work out.
Get buff, get ripped, so mama thinks we're so handsome.
And wheelchair!
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.
All right, I just put Dex down to bed. Hopefully he'll get a good night's sleep after our workout. I'm pretty exhausted. We have his graduation coming up soon. I'm just so proud of him. I mean, he made it through, he's done. It's kind of a weird thing because now we're going into summertime, and so we're literally gonna have all day, me and Dex, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And so I'm really excited, but at the same time, I'm worried that, I don't know, I feel like when you have structure, I have to wake him up at 7 o'clock, get him to school 8 o'clock, pick him up at 1:45, you know what I mean? We have those milestones throughout the day, and now all of a sudden we're on summer vacation.
So things might get a little crazy. Also, you know, just a little update for everybody. We haven't come to a full decision, but after talking with Dex and everything and really bringing it up multiple times with him, we may be moving to homeschooling for his next year. For multiple factors. One, we didn't necessarily have a problem with the school that he was at, but at the same time there were a few issues, and truthfully it is a little bit of a ways from our house, so if we could find somewhere a little closer that would be ideal. That's not a really big factor. I would drive an hour every morning if I found a school that he just really fit into, but that school he really was having some issues, so if we have to move him to another school. Also, Cynthia and I have been kind of passing around the idea of him doing a year of homeschooling, or even half a year, or I don't know. My issues with that is, well, I have multiple issues. One, he doesn't get any social time. That's probably my biggest factor. You know, as you guys know, I've worked with, you know, the Crazy Middles and the Crazy Pieces, even during times when they had some of their kids in homeschooling, and they did great. But here's the thing, they have each other. They have, you know, a bunch of other kids to play with and run around and have fun. You know, they have this great backyard, and you know, it's really awesome for them. But Dex is an only child. Dex is here by himself, and don't get me wrong, like, I do my best, you know, to play with him, and like we have a great time. But to not have that social time, that development time to like develop your social skills and kind of just, you know, be a kid, you know, with other kids, you know, I think that there is an element where that's important. That's important time, you know. So if we were going to do any kind of homeschooling thing, Cynthia and I were talking about doing a soccer league. So that's a new development. Cynthia has signed him up for a soccer team, and we're going to see how that goes. It's actually starting next week, so we have to get all of his soccer gear. That's going to be a video coming up soon. His entire, like, oh my gosh, we need to get ready for him being on a soccer team. We figured out the soccer team. We're all signed up, but we don't have any of the gear, so that's going to be a whole thing. Anyway, we're hoping that if he does get a good amount of social time with that, maybe he can do the homeschooling thing. Another big reason why we might be having to do the homeschooling thing is we may be moving. Things have gotten a little bit crazy here in Arizona, and so we're kind of in that weird spot where we're like, okay, are we staying? Are we going? We don't know. If we do go, where would we go? Obviously, this is all preliminary. Obviously, this is all just, you know, 15 different thought clouds that we're trying to figure out, you know. But as I'm sure you can imagine, it's just the three of us here in Arizona. And so, you know, I have family in other states. She has family in other states. So if we were to move, it would probably be a ways away. We haven't finalized anything yet. Obviously, we'll keep you updated. But yeah, we have a lot going on.